Hi, so in this video we're going to place in the holes for the jack and the switch in the carcass. So I'm just going to open that. Then we're also going to do putting the job together and a little bit of rendering. So first things first, we need to figure out, I'm going to open the insert too in a separate tab. We need to figure out how high up these two aspects are. So this is the switch and this is going to be where the micro USB comes in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to measure those. So I'm going to go front view and I will angle it off a little bit and I'll go inspect from there to there. So that's 28.28. Okay, from the ground to there. Go to my carcass and I want to figure out, remember the depth of my carcass again. So that's 35. Let's write that down, 35, and the other one is 28.3. Okay, for the switch. Let's just see how the depth, okay, 40. So that means the depth of my job is 5 mils. So therefore, I'm going to add 5 mils on to that 28.3, and that'll give me where the switch will go. The next thing we need to do is to figure out how far that switch is in from the edge. So this will be one of the edges, from there to there, 16.753 on the inside. So what I'm going to do, because it's internally, I'm going to go like this, rotate it up. Got my line, I'm going to do a construction line. Got the corner. Actually, I'll get rid of that 5 mils as I am doing it on the inside, so I don't need that anymore. So it actually is going to be up 28.3, and go to the side from here, which will be, just going to double check it. $16.7. 7.7, good, and then I just need to figure out how far that is across and down. So that's 7 mils, 4 mils, so now I'm going to create a square here, 7 by 4. We can turn those construction lines off. 7 mils, that's 4. We might add a mil on just to give a bit of wiggle room. 8. Right. Close that switch and then extrude that out with E. Just going to draw that tab like so. What I'll do next is let's do the micro switch, which is going to, we'll start that one up as, how far is that from there to there? So 25, write that down, so 25 on the internal. And now let's find out how far this one is from the side. Okay, so that's 42.2. And then let's figure out the dimensions of this one too. 7.5 by 3. So let's add another mil onto those, or a couple mils. So let's make it 8.5 by 4. That allows for it to give it a bit of wiggle room. So let's bring it in from the side here. Put this pallet over here, give ourselves a little bit more room. Turn our construction line on. Got this corner in here. We're coming in 42.2. Going to come up 25 mils. 25. We've got a square, which is going to be 8.5 wide as we've added on a little bit more, and then it's going to be 5, like so. Let's click on each of the lines, as we didn't turn the construction steps off, but that's okay. Construction lines. Turn them off. Extrude. Take it out. There we go. And we'll save it. And what we're going to do now, we'll open up this, and I'm just going to open up a new design because I want to create a new design for our whole job to sit in. So we'll call that completed. Speaker. Okay, so, and what I'll do in that completed speaker, I will insert this into my current design. I'll rotate this around so I have the components right here. We'll save that. We will insert this in. I might just delete that for a sec. So the way I can delete that is just by going like so, because I want to ground my object. So what I do, I right click on this and I go, just do it again, ground. So it should have this little thumbtack there, so that means it can't move. I'm going to insert this into my current design, the insert, and I just want to take it back a bit. I'll enter, select this line, going to rotate, hold down shift so I can have both blue and blue because they're going to line up, and I click the join tool and enter. So everything should line up in theory. Okay, now what I want to do is go top. I will put my, before I put the top on, I just want to do a layer under the top to simulate where the fabric will go. Once it loads. So I just want to simulate that. So all I'm going to do, I'll click on this as I want to include a new sketch. Go create polygon, edge to edge polygon, and all I'm going to do is go from here to here, 6 sides, and there we go. Finish my sketch. As that'll allow for us okay, and that's going to allow for us to do a bit of mesh underneath to just save, so we don't worry about that for the real thing. What I'll do, I'll go back to my completed speaker, and as my top saves, I'm just going to insert that into my current design. Just going to move this out of the way, enter, click on my edge, like so, and we've got to enter. So we've got our job really nicely in there. Okay, we've got this like so. So obviously looks like we might have to rearrange this to make it a little bit higher, as it doesn't look like it's sitting as cleanly as it is. So we'll have to go back and re-measure that, but that is fine. So what we can do, okay, which is completely fine, measure from there to there, so it's 3.6 down. So I can actually edit this. I can edit this, and this is actually probably a good thing, as I'm able to show you this in real time. Then I'm just going to double check this again. So 7 wide, So what I can do here is I can go to my carcass, and I need to change up this circle, this one right here. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to go to this sketch, okay, and I'm going to edit it. Completed speaker. Let's have a look how far it's off, because I'm actually able just to reconfigure it a little bit. It needs to be higher. So it actually needs to be, okay, that's a mil. Let's take away a mil, so 4 mils, take away 1 is 3. And we need to bring this up. Let's bring it up another 5, another 4, so 32.33.2. Save. I've saved that, and what I'm going to do is I'll go back to my completed and see how this yellow is there, because I've updated it in another sketch, and that moves into place. Now, what I want to do is I want to move. It looks like I might have gone up 1 mil too much, and that's fine. I need to move this across by a mil or 2 that way. Go back to my carcass, go back to this one, right click, edit. Let's go 32 and across. Let's go 15. We go finish, save. Back to my completed, re-click on this, and it's right, perfect in the middle. So we'll save that one right there. What we're going to do now is we will work on this top to see how we're sitting, and we will render. So I'm going to go to render. And we will start to render this. Having a look at this top, it looks like how I put that edge on, we might have flipped it the wrong way. So I might just go back to my design. I'm going to go top. I'm going to edit this. So edit the appearance of my top sitting on there. So I can click on that and go edit in place. Okay. So I've got my edit. I'll just edit my job, or remove it, delete, top, insert, okay, and I'm actually going to rotate it. Got my top right there. It's actually inbuilt in my body at the moment. Seems to be sitting in there, which is okay. Like so, and it's actually below the surface now, which is really good. And I'll save that, because that's really going to help with how I put my mesh on. How it's all going to sit. Now, to see all my components properly, I'm actually able to, when I'm rendering, I will take away layer by layer, so we're actually able to see different things. Now it's really good because the component's already done. I will click face, close this, so I'm actually able to see things. And I've got all of these different elements here. Now you might have to download some, but some are already pre-downloaded. So I'm going to choose some. I've got this right here. Okay, my oak. Body's components. Okay, I've got my oak for the outside, and then let's just have a look for paint. I could go glossy, metal flake. I might go for a yellow. Okay, for the outside of that, and then underneath I'm also going to have my insert, so I can get rid of my top, get rid of my carcass, and I've got my nice insert under there. which I'll have a look, and maybe I'll use a nice walnut or something for the inside. Okay, oh, it looks a bit dark, so I'll have a look, see if I can go maybe a glossy pine or as it loads. So there we go, looks quite nice. Looks like it's turned out really well. So I turn my carcass back on, turn my top back on, and what I will also do, I want to try and get that top and get under the top, which I have there. Go my colour again. I want to go the fabric. See if I can find some black. Okay, if we can't, I might just go for maybe a matte black or a powder coated, that rough black, which could signify the underneath. Okay. Or I might just leave it nice and coloured as well. Okay, turn these all back on like so, and I've got this coming through. I can just see these. What might be a good idea, I have my top. Okay, like so. And I've got that top like that, which comes in like so. Nice and completed.